Good evening, everyone. Good evening, one and all. It's so good to be here with you tonight. A shining stars night. How appropriate in Michigan with the great weather that we have, that we would call our event Shining Stars. So even if you don't see the shining stars outside, you see the shining stars in our children. And that's why we're all here, to support a great event. This is our 4th Shining Stars event. And let me say to you, ladies and gentlemen, I want to congratulate you because it just keeps getting better. Thank you so much. I'm Ray Scott. I'm with Lutheran Child and Family Services. Being 6 feet 9 inches tall, I'm sure you're saying, boy, this guy must have been a Piston. And if you guessed that I am, you are correct. I was a Piston. And I will be signing a basketball tonight. I want to make friends with a lot of you because we're going to be taking bids on this basketball. So be nice to me. Remember, I'm a poor kid from South Philly. And I had ego-esteem problems in Philly. I had self-esteem problems, so you'll help me greatly if we have very good bidding on this basketball that they're going to have here later on. We're going to have a great live auction, and we have my friend Rob Duckett. Now, Rob is not from the South, but he does speak with a bit of an accent. And you will probably notice that. And if you can pick up on it, you'll probably figure out where this accent is from. But Rob is going to do our live auction. But before we introduce Rob, I'm looking for Mr. Miles. Bob Miles is our CEO and president, and I'm sure he's on the way down as he hears his name being mentioned, which leaves me time to do what they call in the radio business a fill, which means I have to fill time until he gets here, and I can tell you a couple of stories. Okay, I can. I won't tell you a couple of stories. But we're going to have a great evening. We have great things in the live auction. I hope most of you participate.
He's on the way down. He's on the way down.
He's on the way down. See a voice? You see he speaks to me. He's on the way down. That's wonderful. So when Mr. Miles gets here, we'll do the introductions. There are so many honored guests here tonight who came to really help us out with our venture. But as we go forward, I want you to remember, and as Mark and I say, Mark Melton, my associate, what we say in the office all the time, when we're really working hard and driving hard to be successful with something, the key component is we do what we do for the children. We do what we do for the children. And you're here because of the children. We have neglected, abused children that are adopted, that are in foster care, that are in counseling, and it's so great to be with an organization for the last 5 years of my life that really takes care of kids. That is so important because so many of the children that we have, and the 30% of the children that we have in America today are not fortunate children. They're not like our kids, children of good fortune. They're children that need support and need help. And that's why you're here, to offer that help, offer that support. So I really, really deeply appreciate your being here. I'm deeply touched. Hopefully not as touched as you will be. If Mr. Miles is here, if I could introduce Mr. Robert Miles, he is on the way down. And he's looking for his wife. Well, I see Mary Miles, so that's good. And he's right behind you. Robert, would you come up, please? Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you the leader of our wonderful organization, Mr. Robert Miles.
Well, thank you so much, all of you, for coming, everybody who's volunteered, who helps make this a success. Ray was just talking about the kids, and that's what it's all about, but I've learned some special things tonight. Mackenzie, would you come up here? I met Mackenzie. Well, come up with your mom. Come on. And your aunt. Your whole family. Here is a true success story about how things can work and work well. You don't have enough. Mackenzie was adopted by Jael and Brian, and then was reunited also with her birth mother, who's now her Aunt Mary. And this family has simply surrounded Mackenzie, and I think that's why Mackenzie's eyes sparkle so wonderfully. So God bless you. It's just wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you.
And where are the girls from Marlow, the former residents at Marlow? Are they down here? Would you come up here with me, please? Now, I know you girls, I know you were dancing the other night with Albert, but you're not going to dance tonight with me, I'll tell you that. These young ladies were residents at Marlow House and have all now graduated from the program and are off in different endeavors in life. But I think this shows you that the work that we do is never about just today. It's about tomorrow and next year and the years to come. And here's the success of our work. And we are so proud of you girls, and we're so happy that you're having some really nice opportunities to grow into wonderful, wonderful women. So we look forward when you're going to be in all these prominent positions in Michigan, and never, don't forget us when you're in those. So thank you very much. And I want to thank Mitzi and Albert Scallione, the owners of the gallery here. But more importantly than the owners of the gallery, these two have done absolutely miraculous things to surround the kids in our care. And we've been having discussions that I can tell you, I've told Albert, he's the reason I don't sleep all night. And it's true. He thinks with a big vision, and he says one of the things that we have to change for kids who come into care, into the social service system, is we've got to change it so there's permanent connections for kids and that they've got every chance in life to be successful. And he backs that up. And what's tough for me, Albert, I've told you. You told me you got to move from here to here, and that atmosphere up there can be scary, but I sure look forward to tackling it and learning from you. And we thank the two of you. You've done so much already.
Yeah, I know you're going to leave. There's the one, by the way, not me. My wife is the one who really got me involved in this, but we've taken it on as a ministry now in that, I'll just say, I've said this to 3 or 4 or 5 people tonight. It's a pretty simple one. I spoke at a meeting of a school group at the Grace Baptist Church not too long ago, and I told them I was going to speak on religion. And everybody went, oh, groan. And it was a very simple speech on religion. It's out of James, and it says this: religion that is pure and faultless is this, to look after orphans and widows in their distress and to keep yourself from being polluted by the world. And that's enough religion for anybody. And the reality is that we have a huge work to do. As Mitzi and I had a fundraiser here, Ray Scott came in a couple of years ago wanting to borrow some easels, and then one thing led to another. And then one of the gals did a drawing of the gallery, and Mitzi showed it to me. Said, what do you think of the drawing? I said, she's got talent. And she went down and visited him at Marlow House, and that was it. She said, Albert, I got to tell you that I got to know these girls for that afternoon. I could see how much they wanted to be loved, and how much, you got to meet them. And then we had some parties with them, and now it just goes on and on and on, in that we know our girls, and we know that they can be leaders in our community. They can be, lifted up, and it's like I don't think we can. I could be here all night just talking to you about what we need to do, but the reality is, I want to get help from every one of you, and I don't necessarily mean financial help, but any kind of help you can give us. I'm meeting on this constantly. I had Steve Andrews and Nick Bolden and Craig Mays from Kensington Church here just this week. They built a church of nearly 10,000 members in 15 years over here in Rochester, Troy, and they committed to getting me 700 people who'll help the girls. We have meetings in here on a regular basis where people come in and teach them how to do makeup or help them with this or help them with that, jobs. But what I found shattering is the system is broken. The system is simply broken. It doesn't work. The foster care system doesn't work. So I was so pleased that we have a wonderful person from the Supreme Court here tonight. Is she still here? No, she had to go. Okay. And energized. I met a lot of wonderful citizens here tonight. And Mitzi and I are only a part of this. If we do anything, we're simply going to be a connecting. We hope to be short-circuiting the system. If anybody here wants to help in any way, call us. Just say, I'm calling you about Marlowe House. I'm calling you about Lutheran Child Family Services. I'm calling you about the girls. You'll get talked to that day. And if there's anything you can do to help us, right now we're looking for prayer, and we're looking for help in that Sarah Fisher nursing home, which for many, many years, since 1929, has been a facility for unwed mothers, and the Sisters of Charity have decided to land develop it with a local developer, and it's no longer going to be used for that purpose. Well, we believe we can get enough money raised to buy it and let the Marlowe House girls use it. And we're already up against it because the Historical Commission of Farmington Hills is going to allow them to change it, to destroy it. So we've hired a lawyer, John Jacobs. He's going to be going ahead and appealing it on Tuesday. And it's an uphill battle. We're probably going to lose, but we're going to fight hard. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to ask the Lord to lead us to higher ground. And one of the things I try to do in the morning every day, I get up at 6:20, I'll work out a few hours, and by 9 o'clock, I have a routine, 6 days a week. I read my scriptures and pray for 3.5 hours. And this is heavy on my heart to pray about this, and we really must do something. Mitzi and I are not going to be alive when we're still thinking and working about this. We'll be looking hopefully from another place, praying for this particular thing, because if we stay with it, we believe that before we die, we can make an impact in this city. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. We think we can help our girls. Yeah, we really do. We think we can stick with them. When they get into a foster home, first thing we do is get them a cell phone. If you're getting beat up by your new foster mother, call us. If you got a problem, call us. If something's wrong, call us. We're not worried about, quite frankly, what the law says right now. We're worried about what we got to do right now. We're worried about praying right now. So we think it's a grassroots effort to get to meet the children, to get to work with the children, to get to love them. And there's so much goodness in our community. There really is. There's a lot of great people in this community. We simply have to come together to do the work. It's a massive, massive, massive problem. And we just want you to be part of it, and I thank you for being here. Thank you very much.
Now, with that laid out as the mission of changing the world for kids here in Detroit area, do you see why I don't sleep at night?
Well, we'll do something. We'll do something.
Thanks, Albert.
Okay, have a great time.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. We do have some special guests here who I would like for you to meet because they're people that I'm personally connected with. And these folks that I'm connected with are here to do something for our girls. And that goes from the Coryas, that great trio that you listened to earlier this evening. They were fabulous. They played great jazz, our kind of music. They played music that we could dance to. I have my friend here, LaCount Holmes, who is an actor and singer, and he does a great Frederick Douglass in character. He's going to do that for our girls. LaCount, would you stand and be introduced? LaCount Holmes. Mr. Dan Ragland, the manager of the trio, of the Corya Trio, the Coryers. My friend is here, Eli Zarrett, who I've known, he's an author. He's the Yaldo man. Eli, would you? Everyone hears the commercials for Yaldo, and I haven't gotten my eyes done yet, but everyone hears that. But Eli's, and one of my best friends, Mr. Billy Taylor, halfback with the Michigan Wolverines. He was on that first team with Bo Schembechler to beat Ohio State. Any Ohio State people here? All right. Let's go blue. All right. And who am I missing? Was there anyone else, Mark, that you wanted me to introduce that we brought in personally? We wanted to make sure that we introduced or recognized those folks. Well, we're ready for the live auction. Let's get down with the show. Oh, the most important people. I'm sorry, I do apologize.